Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is just going to be a quick video going into the pride of these women and how the prophecies state that women are going to be humbled, man, in a major way. All right, the prophecies in the Bible state that women are going to be humbled in a major way, and ultimately, right now, Yahweh set women up above men. Women have got way more advantages in the world than men in this world right now, right? And that's one of the main reasons why the world is in such a destructive state, because women, if we're being honest, man, they don't really know what they're doing, do they? They don't really know what they're doing. Like their whole thing is just about whatever feels right to do, you know? They don't really know what they're doing, man, and they can get angry and they have a problem with this, but the Bible's clear and says that they're the weaker vessel. The Bible is also clear that from that sins, women was the first ones to sin. So death came into the world because of women. And these women that boast about labor pains, that's also a curse from God. This is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For Yahweh have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. A woman is above a man in this world right now. All right, they're not better than a man, but they've got more advantages than a man in this world, right? And that's why this world is delusional. But what women think in their mind is that this is just going to continue on, and that this is just going to be the new way that things are going to happen, right? This is just a new way of things. They forget that we are the Israelites, and they forget that they sinned, right? And they forget that Yahweh put curses upon us, right? They forget that that's happened. Women are easy. Women can really trick their own minds to think BS, man. To forget, you know. They can forget real easily, you know. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 50, jump to verse 56. The tender and delicate woman, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So what that's saying is that women, the Israelite woman in the past, she wouldn't even put her feet on the floor, man. But now, if you go down to over in the Midlands, you've got Broad Street, right? You'll see nothing but dirty foot bottoms, man. Because the woman's dirty foot's been all on the ground outside, man. She'll be walking, holding her high heels on her damn shoulder, right? And walking about a couple of miles, man. With her dirty foot bottoms on the street that people be spitting on. That dogs be walking on. That people urinate on when they're drunk. She'll be walking down those same streets that people have stepped in poo on. And then traipsed it across the same ground. She'll now walk on those same streets, man. Verse 56 again, the tender and delicate woman among you, verse 56 again, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and toward her daughter. So women hating their children right now, and hating their husband, that's a curse. But because women's minds are weak, they've ran with that, and they think that it's fun, you know? They think it's fun to do. They've just ran with it and they think it's fun, but they don't realize that just same how this is a curse, it's going to be removed also. This curse is going to be removed from us. This is not the natural way for things to be, and it's going to be removed, man. This curse is going to be removed, and when it gets removed, all you wicked women that was still loving this way are going to be humbled, man, in that time. And I'm going to read it because this is a prophecy that Yahweh is going to bring on you women. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse, I'll jump straight to, in fact, I'll go to verse 5. The vile person shall no more be called, Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the child said to be bountiful. And that's also things that are going to be taken from this earth. Wicked people right now in this earth are called good. Like, for example, you women like to call yourself a bad bitch, right? That's what you like to call yourself. And you think that that's fun. But when has it ever been good to be bad? And even still, you'll think in your mind some bugged out stuff to try and make it seem like, oh, we don't mean it like that. Well, it is what it is. Bad's bad and good's good. And the Bible's clear. Warn to them that called evil good and good evil. It's clear. Verse 6, the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Let me jump straight to verse 9. Rise up, ye women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And now there's a movie scene that I find pretty hilarious, to be honest with you, and it's from the movie Purge, right? And you've got this character called Diego, and for the whole time that him and this particular woman was living around each other, right? She used to just ignore him in the hallway, and then one day he goes and pays her a visit in the house, man, with a big ass shotgun in his hand, right? And that is a scenario that a lot of you proud women are going to experience, man, because you women have been very evil upon the face of the earth. You've been very evil upon the face of the earth, and Yahweh is going to cause for you to receive harm, man, ultimately. And it's not going to be coming from the people that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. It's going to be coming from those people that don't care nothing about the scriptures, just like you, right? Just like how you women out there, a lot of you wicked women out there, could care less about what the Bible's talking about, right? Well, God's going to make you meet people that also don't have a moral code, that also just think about what feels nice to them, regardless of who else gets hurt. He's going to cause that to come upon you people. And I'm not going to say nothing more about it than that, man. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be ye troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare. So like it, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. They're going to be hoping for them old times to come back, right? And as this stuff's happening, right, men are going to be all right, man, because men just in a natural state of being, right? Even if you just like ignore that there's men of the Lord that are way higher in value than everybody else. Men, when it comes to times of trouble, we die, right? But so do women die. But men are the ones that ultimately decide what way things are gonna go. It's never women that end up winning wars. That don't happen. It's men that win wars. And at the end of this war that's coming, it's gonna be the Israelite man that wins. That same Israelite man that used to bun out and say that his God don't exist, you know, even though it's also your God. And you used to say that these men are dusty and all of this stuff. That same man, right? That same man that you was talking smack about, he's going to be the same man that's going to come out of the end of this in a righteous state, man. And you women, man, you're going to be so humbled in that day. But them same men that you used to be arrogant towards are going to be arrogant towards you. They're not going to want you. They're not going to want you, man. They ain't going to want you because they already know that you've been used up, man. So why are they going to be now in a new godly form wanting some dirty heathen or some person that didn't believe in the scriptures leftovers? Why are they going to want that? This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see. In fact, verse 9. I'll bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light and I shall behold his righteousness. Because right now, us as Israelite men, we've sinned against the Lord. So therefore, he's caused for women to be demons toward us. Because if we was just had all the women being nice to us anyway, this wicked society wouldn't be as bad, man. So it's ultimately we deserve it. We deserve for these women to be being wicked to us because Yahweh did warn us that he was going to make this happen. He warned us, right? He told us in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, we was told if we don't keep the laws, then our women are going to hate us. And our women are going to also hate their own children. And the women are going to also hate their sons and their daughters. We was told that. And he's came through just like he said he was going to. But just like how he came through with the bad side, he's also going to come through with the good side at the end of that. Verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? My eyes shall behold her, now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. So she ain't going to be, it doesn't say shame's going to cover her, which said unto me, where's Yahweh thy power? Now I'm going to save her and be a simp. It don't say that in there. It says she's going to be trodden down. So all those same women that either said it openly out their mouth, I don't believe, where's your God, where's your God, right? Or they said it in their mind, in their heart, man. They said, where's your God? Where's your God that you've been complaining about? You've been saying that for years, right? You might tell a woman something that sounds a bit righteous and she'll be smiling in your face. Yeah, that sounds, yeah. But really she's thinking, shut the fuck up. That's really what she's thinking. She's thinking, shut, I don't believe that God stuff. I'm trying to get a six figure deal around here. That's what she'll be really thinking in her mind. Women don't believe in the scriptures, man. And I was watching Apostle Rakar's video about this one's for the ladies or something like that, and he was 100% right on every single thing he said, man. Because us as Israelites, we don't need no Kevin Samuels to be telling us about giving us game on women, because we've got our apostles and our elders, man. Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Arayamlab, Apostle Rakar. We got them, and we've also got elders that also have been and did their dealings with women, and they're not only going to tell us about wicked women, for which they get the information from the scriptures, but they're also going to tell us about this wicked world, and they've told us about this wicked world, so that we can be enlightened far beyond some dusty woman, some woman that's been used up by God knows how many men. Most of these women, let's say they start off with their sexuality at 16 years old, right? You really think that if she started off at 16 years old and you meet her at 30 years old, that when she comes and tells you that she's only been with 3 guys, that she's telling the truth? Yeah, right. Yeah, right, man. Verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and that would be too many anyway. Let me say it like that. That would be too many. It's supposed to be 1, unless the other man's died. Verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as a mire in the streets. And there's been many women we've seen that are proud, man. Right? They look you up and down. Right? They try and see if you got the right brand of jeans. You know? They try and see if you got the right brand of hoodie. You know? When a woman's looking at a man, the first thing she's doing is analyzing. She's scanning him from head to toe. Right? She might want to scan the fade. You know, that's why most of you men out there get these fades. Then she want to scan whether your beard's shaped up or whatever, right? She's gonna scan your top to see how much it costs, because she's trying to think about how she can extract that money from your bank account into her hand. You know, she ain't thinking about what she could possibly do for the man though. That's how it is now. I don't know how it was for no one else. How no one else has seen this world, but that's what it is. That's what it is in this world, man. And it's a curse that's been given unto us Israelite men that we have to deal with because we sinned against Yahweh. But when it comes to the other side, right, and we see these women trodden down in the mire in the street, these women are going to be simping. Just like how men are right now simping over women, women are going to be simping over men. They're going to be running around trying to do every single thing that they possibly can under the sun for men. Don't believe me? Well, I'm about to read it. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, what day? What day is this talking about? All right? What day can possibly make women do what I'm about to read? And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now, it ain't today. It's not today, because now a man that's making millions, a woman's actually still going to have the nerve to think that he's only supposed to be with her. And then not only that, but she's going to think that she's in control of his body where he goes to and fro. So it's not talking about today. So it's obviously talking about another time. It's obviously talking about a time to come. Because it's definitely not talking about now. It's talking about in the day of the Lord when all hell breaks loose. That's when it's talking about. It's talking about when all the pride and all the hype that these people have about themselves by where they're thinking that there's something special is going to be dragged away from them, man. That's when it's talking about. That's when it's talking about, man. Let me get this. Because you people, man, you love money so much, right? But ultimately, all that money is going to be taken away from you all anyway, man. From all of you demons out there. You're worshipping money. And then you haven't really got as much money as you try and make out like you've got anyway. You haven't got it. Be real with yourself. You're not balling, man. You're not. Your car's on finance, right? You pay rent. Most of you Jakes that are proud and most of you Israelite women that are proud, you're not balling, man. Stop faking. And also, I want to say this, all you Israelite women out there that are proud, there's a reason why you're smacking yourself in the head like this, right? And why you're having to wear weaves. It's because you're proud and Yahweh made you bold, man. That's the reason why. So humble the F down before Yahweh does it to you. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. In fact, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So what's a woman going to do in this time? A woman that's been continually focusing on what angle to make her ass look fat. A woman that's been continually thinking about trying to get another man, extract another man's money out of her bank account. A woman that's been continually thinking about how many people follow her on OnlyFans, or what filter she should use what filter she should use in that picture that she took of her coffee, her mocha, her latte, you know. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So what are women going to do in that time, man? What are they going to be doing? What are they going to be doing, man? Who's more prideful than a woman? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. When a man's belly is hungry and it's grumbling, he's not really thinking about a woman's beauty, you know. If it's a choice between him filling his belly, right, or looking at a woman, he's going to feed his belly. So the women are not going to be getting access to these funds like they thought there was. They're not going to be. They're going to be seeking protection in that time. When it comes to times of warfare and chaos, women ain't thinking about their makeup in them times. They're thinking about not dying. And that's why, let me read it again. All right, verse Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So they're going to be hoping for a man in that time. And like I said, just because they're hoping for a man, don't mean they're going to get one. And here's the proof. Let me go back to Micah chapter 7 and 10. Because women just think, man, a lot of you women just think that there's always going to be some man to come by and save the day. That's how you think, man. And the reason why you think that is because you're used to this world as it is now. You're not used to the world that's coming. You're used to this society. So in this society, there is always a man. There's always a man that's going to pay your bills. There's always some man that you can deceive to get paid for dates. There's always some man that you can deceive and pretend like you're going to give him something so that he can fix something in your house, you know? There's always some man that you can cry to about the guys that you want to be with but don't want your ass because you're not worthy, right? He doesn't view you like that. There's always some man that you can cry to and complain over the phone to. But in the time to come, that's not going to be. Because Yahweh is going to bring back the manly ways. Micah chapter 7 and verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, and now she shall be trodden down as a mire in the street. So just because these women are going to be coming over saying we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, don't mean they're going to get it. And I'm going to read another scripture as well, because like in this world that we're living in right now, a man's value is ultimately worth nothing, right? Yet it's a man that died for the sins of the Israelites. It wasn't a woman that died for the sins of the Israelites. It's a man that made the heavens and the earth, right? It's men that are prophets prophesying against this wicked society. It's not women doing that. Women are running their mouth talking about something else. There's some women that believe the doctrine, but it's not women that are teaching it. It's not women that learned it. It's not women that the doctrine was given to. The doctrine was given to men. And them men made other men learn it. Learn this new song. But I'm going to get this scripture here, just going into how a lot of women think that, like, they think that they're needed, like, way more than they are. I'm on about the Israelite women in particular. They think that they're needed way more than they are, man. Like, as if as if Yahweh really can't not need you. Just like how Yahweh doesn't need the Israelite man, he doesn't need the Israelite woman also. And there was a time where he literally showed that the Benjamite woman was not as valuable as she thought she was. And I'm going to read it right now. This is Judges chapter 21 and verse, I'll jump straight to it. Judges chapter 21. In fact, let me read through it. Judges chapter 21 and verse 6 and verse 16. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing that the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? Now, what's that saying? That's saying that there was a time where every single Benjamite woman was dead. All right? There was a time where every single Benjamite woman was dead. And they was asking how we're going to find wives for our brothers of the tribe of Benjamin, seeing as though there's no women from their nation left because they're all dead. And it's fitting, to be honest with you, that it's Benjamite women, because Benjamite women are some of the main ones that be running their mouth, man. In fact, one of the videos that brought a lot of men into the truth, right, is a video about a video called "You're a Slut," right, and it's a Benjamite woman running her mouth, talking about judgment. You know how they are, man. I ain't gonna try and do that for this video, man. You know how they are, running her mouth. She was, man. We're getting all up in men's face as if she wouldn't have got absolutely stomped through the ground if she would have tried to make a movement. But that's how you women are. You women know you wouldn't go over to the Middle East or to some forests in Africa running your mouth like how you do here. You wouldn't do it. But this world has made women proud, and it's all right, man. It's all right, because like I said, this is a punishment that we've been given as Israelite men. This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. So we're going to see these women that have been prideful. We're going to see them with our eyes, man. And every single man's got particular women out there that have been prideful towards him, right? And the scriptures say we're going to see them. We're going to see them with our eyes. Where is Yahweh thy power? My eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So it's not going to be no nice thing that's going to be happening to you women in that day. It's not going to be. All your pride is going to be drained out, right? Even the Israelite man's pride is not going to be high in that time. Never mind a woman's. Men are going to be acting like women in that time. So what's a woman going to be doing? They don't say nowhere they're going to be acting like men, that they're going to grab a shield and buckler and start getting down with it. They don't say that nowhere. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas for that day, in fact, verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a woman doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. So if a man's face is going to be turned into paleness in that day because he's seen some things that he never possibly imagined could happen, how much more is a woman's face, right? And with these recent lockdowns, let me just tell a little quick story. With these recent lockdowns that happened, right? Unlike the first day that these lockdowns came, like back in March 2020, right? I went out to go get food, and then as I'm in the car park going into the store, there was a woman with a full trolley, right? And she looked at me and she looked terrified, man, because she was thinking in her mind that I was gonna rob her or something like that. She was thinking that, man. But there wasn't no pride in her face. There was fear only, because she was looking like, oh, this person might rob me, and she was like rushing back to her car to quickly try and get all of her stuff. But why did that woman not have a man to go out and go and get that stuff? Why was that? Maybe she was proud. Maybe she was a proud woman, so no man wanted to be with her. And what are you women going to do in that day when that don't have men that are expecting to? What are you going to be expecting to do, man? It's clear but the Bible is clear about what it said. You're going to be trying to say, well, eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, just basically just protect us. That's what your main thing you're gonna want. You're gonna be giving your whole self over to the man, your body and everything. But is he gonna want you though? Because the scriptures also say that women are gonna be trodden down as a man in the streets. And that's why women should be humble, man, because you're the weaker vessel and you sinned too. You sinned against Yahweh as well. And the Bible is clear, and it says that, it says, roughly paraphrasing, that the churlishness of a man is better than the kindness of a woman. Something roughly along those lines. Lucky if I'm not saying it exactly how it is. But it's basically saying that the wickedness of a man is better than the kindness of a woman. And the scriptures are clear about how a woman give me any plague but the plague of a woman, man, or any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. But women, they ain't gonna hear it. But that's why this prophecy is gonna come to pass, man, because they're not gonna hear it. So Yahweh don't want them to hear it, man. He wants them to get judged. Isaiah 32 and verse 9 again. Rise up, you women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the fruit, for the pleasant fields, for the fruit of the vine. They're gonna just be catching hell, man. All right, they're gonna be catching hell. These women that don't do no exercise, and when it comes to like having to run from one place to another, right? You ain't gonna be able to manage that. You ain't gonna be able to do it, man. Let's be straight up here. You're not gonna be able to do it. You're not warriors. You're not. So let's not fake. Even most men are not warriors. And even a man that is a warrior, right? A man that is a so-called tough guy in this world, how many men can he really beat up? How many? One man in front of him, two men are at the side, and two men are behind him. He's pretty much done. So the only way you're gonna get out of this chaos and out of these things that are coming to pass is by ultimately believing in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But I just thought of something right now, and I'm gonna go to that point instead. Right? Women love comfort, man, and one of the things that's gonna be a trick for comfort in this world is the MOTB. Right? A lot of women are gonna be deceived into taking it, and they're gonna think, oh, I've took this thing now, so now I'm safe. But then they don't realize that they've been set up for flames. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived might have received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So they're going to be deceived into taking it. But once they take it, they're going to be flames, man. Flames is what's next. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh. Yeah, let me go back to verse 9. It says forehead or in his hand. They don't say both, like some people out there want to try and claim it says. It says or. It don't say both, right? It don't say both. So if you're going to scoff on a scripture, make sure you've read it first, you know? Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So that's going to be a lot of these proud women that are going to be tasting those flames, because they're not going to want to be suffering out there in the place where all the chaos is going for the people that don't want to take this. So they're going to take it thinking that they're safe. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction is going to come upon them, and they're not going to be able to escape from it. I'm going to end the lesson there, man, because I don't really do videos too much on them, man, because they're annoying too much anyway, right? And they're more of a hindrance to salvation than an aid, to be honest with you, right? But I'm going to end the lesson there. Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.